You're listening to Basically a Sports Show.
Follow us on Twitter at Basically Sports.
Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes.
And download every episode and more at basicallyasportshow.com.
Now here's your hosts, Zach,
Greg, Mike.
And you're listening to Basically a Sports Show.
The CCSLC.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do?
That's a good question.
Would you even address it?
No, What I'd say is I'd be like, okay, guys, I'd find some like busy work for them to do, and then I'd be like, I got to go outside and I got to like get you smoke or something, and then I'd probably
if you had them like,
quit your job and go somewhere else.
If they were a poster, would you just say in their comments just need stripes?
Need stripes. If that happened, I'd probably, excuse myself, go to the restroom, and then like take a good long look at myself in the mirror.
Yeah.
At that point, I would hope to see just a big farewell to the boards thread. Like, well, guys, I've been on this board 8 long years, and some disturbing information has come to my attention. I am now going to leave this community. It is now far too out of the hands of reversal, and
Who was it when we did the first Lounge Report show? I can't remember who called in, but it was someone that I had just been terribly nasty to, and it turned out he was. Yeah, and it turned out he was 15 years old or something like that.
He's in college now.
Oh well, that doesn't make it better back then.
He's like a journalism major and does his own podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to give it a listen. Do we know what it's called?
No, I tried it. It's terrible. Don't.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's him and his buddies. Like, hey, we're kids and we're going to talk about sports. It's like, okay, good. You started a podcast. I'm not going to listen to it, but good on you for putting the effort in.
Who were the guys that were in the Basically a Sports Show thread? I can't remember which one that wanted us to tell them how to start a podcast.
Oh, Lil Ben or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
and then
good.
And you're like, no.
I actually sent him a PM and told him I really was just kidding. I said, if I will help you as much as we can. I don't know. We get on here and talk. I mean, that's about the best I can tell you. Speaking of our Basically a Sports Show universe, poor Andy. Man, the reason I bring up Andy, and I think Mike talked about a little bit about this in the hockey thread on the quote-unquote boards yesterday. People were telling him that because the Hawks won the Cup last year, he's not allowed to complain this year, which I think is just complete, utter bullshit.
Well, we should talk about this for the show. Are we recording?
I started the recording right when I asked that. So
gotcha.
I'm going to cut the part
Let me
about
finish up my snack first, and I'll give you an answer.
I'm going to cut the part where we said that a certain member's podcast was terrible, so we'll leave that out. But anyway, no, I mean, I do. I think that's complete, utter bullshit. I just don't understand the logic behind that because to me, you go into every season wanting your team to win the championship.
Oh, you definitely do. You definitely do. But I'm kind of two minds of it. On one hand, you go in every year, you want to win. And, it doesn't matter if your team's the defending champions. If they shit the bed, then you have every right to be pissed off about that. But at the same time, I kind of think at it from my perspective as a hapless Leafs fan. And I'm like, if the Leafs somehow managed to like bungle their way to a Stanley Cup and then like they won it, just because it's the Leafs and their losing streaks become legendary, I think I'd personally be good forever.
Right. Here's my look at it. It depends on where you're coming from. Mm-hmm. And if you notice, the people that are complaining about it, our friend McCarthy is one that brought it up. And I like McCarthy generally.
I do too.
But
one of my favorite people there, but he's wrong on this.
But he's fans of
the Blue Jackets,
Cincinnati sports teams.
Yeah, the Reds.
And the Blue Jackets.
And the Bengals, yeah.
Right. Who generally haven't been all that great. And so you think that you should just be lucky that you're winning championships.
Yeah.
But, like, I take it from the other angle, like, the Lakers. Any year that they don't win the championship, it's a disappointment. God damn it. I thought I unplugged that.
No, I get what you're... No, I get.
Why is this phone not being picked up? Sorry.
I think we got it. Okay. That's okay. All it's good stuff.
For the Lakers, I don't want to just, good try. No, you want to win the championship every
Right.
That's the standard that you've set. And if you're the defending Stanley Cup champion like the Blackhawks are, you want to stay on top as long as you can. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't be like, oh, well, we won the Cup last year, so if we were a lottery pick this year, I'd be okay with it. No. And you want to sustain your success because, especially with this Hawks team, this is something else that somebody's brought up. This stretch of time for the Blackhawks is probably the best the Blackhawks will ever be. Mm-hmm. It's the best they've been prior to this. It's the best they're probably going to be after this. This Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane era is the best they're going to be. So you want to maximize your results, right? You want to win as many cups as you can.
I'd even go so far as to say this team is better than the Bobby Hull teams.
Right. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
This is the best Blackhawks team that has been or ever will be.
That's my point. The argument I used in this was, what if a player took the attitude that people that don't think you should complain if your team wins took? What if a player said, well, let's use a Blackhawk, for example. After they lost, what was it, Game 5? Mm-hmm. If afterwards Toews just says, well, you know what, we won the Cup last year, so who cares? We're okay. We won last year, so big deal.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't fly at all.
It just doesn't fly. And to me, and I'm coming from the perspective of a guy who doesn't really have a lot of winning on my resume as a fan either.
Oh, Browns.
But right. Yeah, the Browns, come on.
If you win the championship, is it easier to take a loss the next season? Yeah.
Yeah,
because
sure.
Okay, well, we won last year.
It doesn't change the fact.
Am I disappointed? Sure.
Another thing that
you want to win.
Another thing that needs to be taken into account in this case is context. The context of this Blackhawks team in this Kings series. As you said, Zach, this is the best Blackhawks team that will probably ever exist.
Really, really good.
They are really good, but for a couple games there against Los Angeles, they completely shit the bed. And being a fan of a team this good and seeing them just let Jeff Carter skate down the middle of the ice and shoot without any opposition has got to be enraging. Even if you are the defending champions,
it's different than just it was a hard-fought game, but the Kings just came out on top.
Yeah,
it's not like they played well and lost. They played like crap. Especially in Game 2, and so you can be frustrated by that, especially. Look, it's sports. We all get emotionally involved in the games, and I know that was another thing that came out of the conversation.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up next, so go ahead. Oh,
they're just sports. Well, okay. With your team, in the case of hockey, you live and die with them for 82 games, and then you get in the playoffs, and the stress level amps up. You get emotionally invested. You can't control how you feel. You can't just be a mindless robot with no feelings. It's sports. What does it really matter?
It doesn't matter, but you invest yourself. You invest yourself in the team, in your team, in the playoff run, and when things don't go, your way, it sucks. Okay, I'm one of the guys who generally says, "Oh, it's just sports. You should be able to separate it." That's kind of something that I tend to think, but. I'm not going to lie. Last year, when the Leafs blew that Game 7 against Boston, it stung for 2-3 days afterwards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's sport.
The Ducks losing the Kings still hurts. We could have beat the Blackhawks in 5 games, but no. We're not going to go win the Cup.
Obviously, there's a line. You don't want to go too far with the emotional investment, and there are a lot of people that take it way, way past the line.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But I think we all know, without having to sit here and define it, we know what reasonable is versus unreasonable response to a sporting event. Mm-hmm. And I would say that 90% of the people that we interact with throughout our lives, in real life, on the boards, whatever, are all well within the reasonable boundaries. Mm-hmm. And so when someone comes along and says it's just sports, well, sure.
When someone says it's just sports, that gets me more angry than the games themselves.
And the response I made to this yesterday, and I'll say it again, these are the same people that will say it's just sports, why are you so worried about it, that will lose their fucking minds over the way The Sopranos ended, or because something on Breaking Bad didn't go their way. It's just nonsense.
I'm still not over the Red Wedding, by the way.
What's that?
I'm still not over the Red Wedding, by the way.
Destroyed half the cast. Yeah,
but
that one was rough.
I think as long as people stay within what we all agree is a reasonable boundary of being emotionally invested in it, what's the big deal? It's what people enjoy. So what's the problem?
Exactly. It's entertainment, and 99% of what is entertainment has an emotional connection. Either you're watching a movie or a TV show, or you're reading a book, and you're invested in some characters, and you have emotional responses depending on how things play out. And it's the same way with sports too. Though it's just not scripted, but it's the same basic idea, really. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, that's the thing. And if you take away the emotional investment in sports, art, television, movies, anything else, what's the point? The whole thing just irked me. But Mike, you wanted to talk about LA Kings fans.
Yes, I did.
There was an incident.
Oh no!
During
so Corey Crawford. He might have to answer to LAPD.
Oh, I saw this. Jeez.
A Los Angeles Kings fan is charging Corey Crawford with battery.
For spraying a water bottle in his face, right?
Spraying a water bottle.
But because the water bottle, which was filled with, quote, backwash and water.
For God's sakes.
Irritated his eyes.
How could you tell if it was backwash?
Well, here's the thing.
They don't even put the thing in their mouth when they drink it.
That's what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. This guy has obviously not watched hockey all too closely. Nobody on a hockey rink actually puts the bottle to their mouth. No. They spray it on themselves. They spray it in their mouth. There's no way, no possible way. I mean, I guess it's different with goalies because you have your own personal one. But even they squirt it into their own mouth.
No. You squirt it into your mouth because it's easier that way. Because, if you want to put it in your mouth, then you got to, take your mask off. And that means you got to, move your stick under your glove hand armpit. And then it's a whole production. It's just easier to take the water bottle and just squirt it between the bars on your mask.
If I were Corey Crawford, I wouldn't even worry about this lawsuit because this is a Kings fan we're talking about. So as soon as the season's over, especially if they lose this series, if the Blackhawks come back and take it, the Kings fan will forget all about it in a week and move on to something else anyway.
Well, LAPD did release a statement. They're like, yeah, we're not looking into this. We're not investigating this. This is stupid.
But another thing I wanted to talk about Kings fans, the proud and loyal Kings fans.
All of them that have been there since 2012?
That's how I would describe them, proud.
The proud and loyal Kings fans. So the ratings came out for yesterday's Kings Blackhawks game. And in Chicago, it scored a 16 rating.
Yeah.
In Los Angeles, it scored a 3 rating.
But you know what, though? I hate those local numbers, especially when it comes to hockey. And I'm going to defend Los Angeles here on that.
Okay.
There are simply more hockey fans in Chicago than Los Angeles.
Sure, absolutely.
And not to mention, I think those ratings based more on percentage, right?
Yes.
There are more people in Los Angeles than Chicago. There are more people in the Los Angeles market as a whole than in Chicago. So all those things kind of skew a little bit. I am never going to say that there's the same amount of hockey fans in Los Angeles than there is in Chicago or New York or anywhere else. But they fill up their building. There's plenty of them. Trust me, there's plenty of them.
Well, see, and I think that honestly, in a city like Los Angeles, a 3 rating for a hockey game is not bad, really.
I guarantee you, if the Kings do make the final, God help us, the games on NBC will have higher rating. You want to go back to the actual on-ice stuff?
Yeah, might as well.
All right. Chicago. If they win Game 6, they'll win Game 7 in the series.
I think so. Yep.
That's my...
I mean, the Kings have a perfect chance to end this. Crawford's been terrible on the road.
Although, to his defense... In Game 4 in LA, he was getting, some of the shots.
Yeah, his defense.
He was not getting any help.
He was not getting help. But
Michael Roosevelt and Johnny Oduya are they have skates made out of concrete.
If LA can't win in Staples Center, then it goes back to Chicago, and Chicago wins it.
The other stat, which would also prove bad news for the Rangers should they lose this game. In the history of the NHL, only 2 teams have gone to Game 7s in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Before. It was the 94 Maple Leafs and the 2002 Avalanche.
Okay.
Both of those teams went on to play a third Game 7 in the conference finals and lost.
Well, not only that, but if the Rangers don't close this out tonight, they're not winning a Game 7 in Montreal. It's just not going to happen.
The only thing against that, though, is one way or the other, something has to break there if they do go to Game 7 because they have the history against them in that stat, but they also have the history going for them in Henrik Lundqvist being a Game 7 wall.
Yeah. Well, this could get really interesting.
Henrik Lundqvist is also not traditionally been good in elimination games, which tonight is. But he's doing well. No goals allowed here with about 8:20 left.
Well, the Rangers need to close this deal tonight. But that's interesting though with Lundqvist and all that. This could really, all Game 7s are great, so it doesn't really matter. Well, not all of them. Sorry, Zach, but some of them just don't go the way you want them to.
It's weird because somebody posted the Kings Game 7 record of as of late. And for whatever reason, every time that they've come back to force a Game 7, not necessarily collapse into one, they end up winning that Game 7 in relatively easy fashion. Like they're not close. It's weird because Chicago was so good at home, not so great on the road.
I could see why Blackhawks fans could be frustrated because, again, now you guys would know more about this than I do, but just looking at the two teams, I think Chicago is just as a notch better than Los Angeles, aren't they?
I think Chicago
is
more. I think Chicago's more talented. I'd say LA plays more structured.
Okay.
Because even if the Kings end up, a goal gets scored on them, like they go down 3-1 in Game 5, most teams would be like, we gotta change our game up. We gotta turn it up. We gotta turn up the offensive jets. The Kings stayed to their system, and lo and behold, they ended up tied and ahead at one point. And then Chicago was the one that had to turn on the Jets and tie it up. And then, you saw the way they played in that first overtime. My God.
That was awesome.
That overtime was great hockey.
It really was. I can imagine it was a heart attack waiting to happen for fans of either team. But,
or if they're just heavily rooting against one of said teams.
Yeah.
I know I jumped off my couch.
I will say that going into this series, I wanted Chicago to win, but it wasn't that important to me. As things have progressed, I really want Chicago to win this series. I'm almost...
Well, you've got more and more exposure to Kings fans.
Yes, and I totally. I will take. I will.
Imagine living here. This is what I don't want these assholes to have another ring to brag about.
I will qualify this by saying that there are some Kings fans on the boards that I interact with that are
a couple of them are fine. Adam, Dennis, you're fine.
Yeah, you guys are fine. The rest of you are complete assholes, and there's just no other way to put it.
You're either assholes.
Or front-running assholes,
or
which is even worse. Or front-running
assholes, or over-dramatic, negative Nelly Nancy's.
And some of you, before the first cup win for the Kings, couldn't have pointed a Los Angeles King out of a police lineup if he had been in uniform. So spare me with all the, the Kings, blah, blah, blah. Give me a fucking break. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to get too inside baseball, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, the Kings lose Game 5, and then two Kings fans, with less than 5 minutes apart, post diatribes about how the team, woe is us, this is the end. You've still got a home game to close this series out.
What was them? What was them? The team that came back from 3 games down in the first round.
Yeah.
Low is them, the team that won the first 2 games on the road and then came back from a 3-2 deficit to win a Game 7 on the quote-unquote road.
Yeah.
Woe is that team. Woe is the Kings. Screw you.
Screw you is right.
Screw you.
Oh, Mark Messier's in the building.
Uh-oh.
When isn't he?
I don't know.
Did he make a decree? Did he say?
I don't know, but the way that
Rangers are going to win
he
this
needs
game.
to suit up, man.
The way that he was just kind of standing there, he kind of looked like Ernst Blofeld from the Bond series, because he had like this really like mean scowl on his face, and he's bald, obviously, so he kind of looked like a Bond villain.
Did he have a cat?
He might have. We only saw him from like the chest up, so he could very well have been holding a cat.
Don't speak with anything but complete reverence about Mark Messier, folks.
Is he your hockey pope?
He has been my favorite hockey player since he played for the Oilers.
I loved his stint in Vancouver. It was the stuff of legend.
Oh, that was embarrassing.
I'll always remember him as a Canuck.
Yeah.
Much in the same way that I'll forever remember Chris Chelios as an Atlanta Thrasher.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he needs to go.
Isn't that the worst? Go ahead, Mike.
I was just going to
Johnny
say,
Unitas in a Chargers
Chargers,
uniform.
right. Joe Namath and the Rams, but go ahead, Mike.
I was going to say, if the NHL put players in from teams like the way the baseball does in the Hall of Fame, then Chelios should have gone in as the Thrashers.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
And the plaque would have to be modeled after that one photograph of him in that god-awful Thrashers alternate that they had.
The football jersey.
Yeah, and it was like he played for the Thrashers for like 8 games, and they wore that jersey. It is probably the rarest picture of him as a Thrasher you could possibly find.
I just hate that when the greats just don't know when it's time to hang it up. You guys are hell, I'm barely old enough to remember this, but Willie Mays played, I think, a season for the Mets. Hank Aaron went back to the Brewers. Messier with the Canucks, Chelios with Atlanta.
Brett Favre with the Jets.
Brett Favre with the Jets.
Brett Favre with the Vikings.
Right.
I remember Emmitt Smith as a Arizona Cardinal.
Right, exactly.
Yes, yeah.
That was just weird to see.
Sundin as a Canuck.
That was enraging because he refused to waive his no trade clause, so it's not even like the Leafs got anything for him. That pissed off Leafs Nation. Let me take you back a few years there.
But I think Zach brought up
got into the Hall of Fame a little too quickly for my taste. But hey, Canada.
I think you brought up the best example, though, was Johnny Unitas in a Chargers uniform. It just looked entirely...
Every time I see that, that's weird.
It just looks ridiculous.
Right.
What about Joe Namath as a Los Angeles Ram?
Well, but Namath wasn't... Namath was at least... You picture him as a quote-unquote modern player.
Yeah.
Unitas was the crew cut guy, and he's out there in San Diego with those awesome uniforms.
In powder blue and...
Yeah. It just didn't work. Didn't work at all. But anyway... So how much time is left, Zach? I'm in commercial here now.
Well, Montreal just took a penalty.
Okay.
So
but there's about 5 minutes left. There's 5 minutes left. So
yeah. So
they've got either
penalty for the next 2 minutes.
So they've got to score shorthanded or just.
Hockey ESP is telling me that Montreal will score and tie this game.
Hockey.
As much as I want the Rangers, I respect that you're rooting for them, Greg.
Yeah.
I want a Game 7 between these two. I want a Game 7 in Montreal.
Well, you know something?
Ole, 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 ole.
It's funny.
Oh, that is... Come on.
That's fucking amateur hour.
They called that?
Wait, what? I'm still in commercial. What happened?
Holy Christ.
Well, you're going to see the replay, and you're going to be wondering where the penalty is.
God, last night... The other thing that was kind of fun but kind of frustrating at the same time about the Chicago-LA overtime last night, they did not call anything.
Mm-hmm.
They flat out tackled Jonathan Taves one time. and they're just like, no, play on. Like, what? No, that should be a penalty shot. 2 guys tackled me on the way to the net. No, play on. It's fine. Did Montreal just throw it over the glass?
I don't know.
I think they're
okay. I just saw the
referees are having a conference.
There's
if this thing went over the glass, Montreal's in rough shape.
It was at 4:58. Rick Nash
penalty.
Got positioned pretty good in front of the net, and in real time it looked like somebody passed him the puck and he just fell on his ass. But
Rick Nash, I still don't think has realized how to play hockey in overtime.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean,
in the playoffs,
he was set up pretty good, and he gets the puck, and it looked like he just flipped out and fell down.
You know what? I think Montreal would... Oh, no, that went deflected off the stick. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, oh, boy, I don't know. I think they might have just given that one, but okay.
This is nerve-wracking. I'm a minute and a half behind everything here.
Well, we're at 4:30.
Oh, okay. See, I'm 18 seconds behind now. That's about the best I've been all along.
Well, you're going to have some stoppage to discuss.
Okay.
I'm a bit... I think I'm going to end up rooting for whoever comes out of the East, though. Montreal.
Me too.
Want to see come back to Canada? That would be nice to see. Montreal's
first cup since '93.
First cup since '93, and the Canadians being one of those legacy teams. It's fun when they're good again. Yeah. So that's that. But if
Rangers,
the
first cup since '94.
First cup since '94. Again, like the Canadians are an older team that hasn't been good in a while, so it'd be nice to see them win.
And Henrik Lundqvist needs to win a Stanley Cup, I think.
And I can just break out my Kitchener Rangers jersey, and then
nobody will know.
Games, and boom, there you go.
Nobody will know.
Do we want to talk into the NBA playoffs? We should just stay with this until it ends.
The NBA. I do have one thing. The Heat went up 3-1 in the series, and the Pacers clawed back to make it 3-2 last night.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that came out of the game last night is, or in the game before, Lance Stevenson, player for the Indiana Pacers, trying to get in the head of LeBron James. After Game 3,
I saw this.
After Game 3, he said that he thought he saw some sort of weakness in LeBron and that he was going to exploit it in the next game. Well, the next game, LeBron decided to go off for 32 points, and Lane Stevenson had 1. So last night, the Pacers are trying to get back, or he's trying to get in LeBron's head again, and so they're lined up on the sides of the key for a free throw, and Lane Stevenson decides to blow in LeBron James's ear.
That's shit you do when you're on the schoolyard.
Right, which now, of course, the internet is great at taking things and making it their own. Here's some photoshops of Lane Stevenson blowing in LeBron's ear.
Oh, this will be great.
They have him blowing into a breathalyzer.
I like the ice cream one.
A saw on the Sunday with the rest of the cast of Friends, blowing into an old Nintendo cartridge.
Beautiful. The bubbles is great.
Blowing the bubbles on LeBron. Yeah, there's many more all over the internet, but yeah, Lance Stevenson trying to get in LeBron's head. Now the Pacers won last night, but I don't think they'll win in Game 6 back in Miami, and the Heat will assume their God-given mantle.
God forbid anything interesting happen these playoffs, because the Thunder tie the series up with the San Antonio Spurs.
Right.
At
they were down 2-0, and they come back to tie it, so that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, but they're down 14 right now.
Yeah,
well, exactly.
So, good on you, Oklahoma. You tried, and the 70-year-old Tim Duncan is still going to demolish you with his unexciting but very sound fundamental game.
I was reading half Montreal empty net.
Putting
the pressure on.
I read a thing on Grantland today, and I thought they made a really good point about the Spurs. They said it's not that they're not likable; it's that they're not hateable.
Yeah,
that you really don't dislike them, but they're not a team that you look at and go, "Man, I hate these guys." Like with the Heat, there's a lot of lightning rods there. You got LeBron, Dwayne Wade, the whole bit. The Spurs don't have that, so they just kind of.
Has everyone forgotten about Chris Bosh already?
Well, apparently the Pacers did for a game and let him go off for like 30.
Did I hear right? LeBron only scored what? Like he didn't do well last night, did he?
Oh, I don't know the stat. I don't know the stat line.
Yeah, well,
I just assumed once the Heat went up 3-1, I didn't even think that the Pacers would win the next game.
Well, neither did I. I was just going to say, if you're looking for NBA analysis, in-depth stuff, you're really on the wrong show.
Oh no! I got your NBA analysis right here. LeBron James didn't play too well because the Pacers were employing that "I'm not touching you" strategy, and that just threw him off his game, and he couldn't do anything. Because schoolyard tactics are the bread and butter of the Indianapolis Pacers.
I always love it, though, because it's always a guy like Lance Stevenson, who's not, as far as I know, is not even a main cog in the Indiana Pacers machine. So
he's a starter.
Oh, is he a starter?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's been defending LeBron, or attempting to.
Yeah, well, that's you don't
by blowing on him.
Well, hey, whatever works. But
all the indications are that it is not working.
It looks like we're headed straight for another Spurs Heat final. Which,
again, we spent the entire NBA season to end up where we all thought.
I think it would even be more interesting if it were someone other than the Spurs taking a shot at the Heat to try to win it. But
I'm still holding out hope for Indianapolis, Oklahoma, because that would just be amazing.
Yeah.
Well, that would be great for TV ratings.
And TNT would go on suicide watch and.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we've talked about it so many times.
Right.
People.
Oh, we're under 50 seconds left. The Canadians, they're trying to get it into the Rangers are going to score an empty net. I can feel it.
Montreal's not letting them have the puck. Well, they just flipped it into the bench. 30 seconds left.
Come on, Michel Therrien. Yell at your guys in French.
Derek Stepan playing with a broken jaw, while Valiant really dumb. Yes, good. You have this neon padded football helmet that you're wearing, but come on,
he's a hockey player, man.
I know. I remember Jeremy Roenick doing it back in the '90s with the Coyotes, but it's dumb. You realize that if you take another hard shot to the head, there, Derek, that you might lose your jaw instead of fixing it.
Does Lundqvist have a cut under his eye, or is it just a reflection of the bar from his mask?
I think it's just his reflection.
Oh, because I was going to say, that would just be totally badass if he had a cut under his eye, too.
Well, Swedes don't bleed blue or bleed blood. They bleed ice. They bleed ice water.
In terms of Scandinavian ice hockey players, even King Henrik bows before Thor Vikingstad. So
Thor Vikingstad. Just for sheer fact that his name is Thor Vikingstad,
yeah,
he needs to be on an NHL roster. The Minnesota Vikings should just hire him as.
Oh my God, yes.
Could you imagine if someone's name was Thor and he played for the Vikings?
Yeah, they could make him the long snapper or something.
He could be the mascot.
He could return punts or something like that.
He probably could return punts, seeing as everything's going to be a touchback now anyway.
Yeah.
And the Rangers start to rag it back in their own zone.
It's done.
And dump it
Rangers
out.
win.
4 seconds. 3.
There we go.
Hey, it's pretty exciting.
The New York Rangers.
All right.
Are going
Breaking
to
out
Stanley
that
Cup
Kitchener
final.
Rangers jersey.
Will Derek Stepan touch the Prince of Wales trophy?
Nope. I was thinking about that today.
He won't. He won't.
Nope.
By the way, it's a bullshit tradition. Nobody gave a crap until Eric Lindros in like '97.
Well, everything we know that Eric Lindros does is law, right?
God, I hate that guy.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, he was a flyer, huh?
Well, yeah, I mean, and you want to talk about a dark day in my hockey fandom was when he signed with the New York Rangers. I was like, oh, my God, you've got to be kidding me.
Fat Eric Lindros.
Oh. It was like,
no, Eric Lindros, Toronto Maple Leafs Eric Lindros was the best because he actually started to play up to his talent level again, and he actually started to contribute, and then he sprained his wrist, and the doctor said he was good to play, but then he's like, no, my mom said I shouldn't play, so I'm not.
Wasn't he originally drafted, or wasn't he supposed to go to the Nordiques first?
And then
but he didn't want to play
Right, yeah.
French Canada.
Right.
By the way, on the spot, I just made up a headline for whoever wants to use it. I'll call it to Dave Patrick tomorrow.
Okay.
Sacre Blue shirts. Like Sacre Blue.
Oh, there we go. Okay, the celebrations finally made it here to Ohio.
Yeah.
Well, this is
Handshake
exciting.
line going on.
Look at that.
Congratulations, Greg.
Thank
Going
you.
to the Stanley Cup final.
I wish I could say I'm as excited about it today as I would have been 2 years ago, but I'm not.
Hey.
But I'm still pretty excited about it.
Hey, but this ensures at least one basically a Sports Show representative
Yes.
in the Stanley Cup final.
If Chicago gets in, the Cup will definitely stay at the Bass compound for another year.
By the way, Mike, you're a goalie, so I want to get your take on Henrik Lundqvist wearing white gloves underneath his pads.
It's
Yeah,
classy.
that's weird.
He wears like the white dress gloves. I think it's because he's so pretty. His hands like in good condition or some crap.
Maybe he like has a second job as like a hand model back in Sweden, and he's like, "Nah, I gotta keep."
No,
gotta keep
I have these watch contracts back in Stockholm, so I have to.
Hey, you know what, man? He just pitched a shutout, so he can wear whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah, no, that's weird.
For Henrik.
That's weird.
Oh, and a nice moment between Brandon Prust and Derek Stepan, guy who broke his jaw, shaking the hand of the guy whose jaw he broke.
Nice.
This was
Martin St. Louis, getting all the love from the Canadian players,
Sure.
the French Canadian players. So sorry about your mother dying, but I know now you can win Stanley Cup for her because that's why this is working. Yeah, Henrik, why are you wearing the light gloves? You look like a weirdo.
You
look like a weirdo.
It looks weird, yeah.
Because everybody else has their hand, and all of a sudden you see this like white just hand.
Is it like a batting glove or something?
No,
or is it just
it's like dress gloves. It's like the gloves of the guys who hold the Stanley Cup wear.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like a weird. It's like a white velvety kind of thing.
Yeah, it's cloth.
Wouldn't Derek Stepan's helmet
look like latex?
Wouldn't his helmet look better with like a football face mask on it than that ugly yellow thing? I think that would be cool looking.
Yeah, but
okay. So now Martin St. Louis is being interviewed.
And tell me, that wouldn't be the greatest thing in the world for Marty St. Louis to play for the Blues? Come on.
Oh yeah, no,
that would be awesome.
Well, that was the rumor until it came out that he wanted to play for the Rangers and only the Rangers. A lot of people were like, "Wouldn't it be awesome if St. Louis could use them?" This St. Louis San Luis jerseys.
Yeah,
they'd fly off the shelves.
Absolutely.
Oh, Pierre McGuire talking with Henrik Lundqvist. How much fun did you have out there tonight, Henrik?
I'm trying to. There's a shot of him. I'm trying to see the gloves. Oh, there. Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's got these white gloves.
What the hell? What's that all about?
It looks weird.
Are you sure those aren't?
They're not latex.
They're not latex.
They're not doctor's gloves. They're cloth. You can tell by the way the sweat's on them.
Poor PK Subban. That's too bad. I like that guy.
I do too. I hope the Canadians get back to their glory and let him win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
It's going to be cool.
Oh, I don't like those hats. Do not like those hats.
You don't like the hat now?
Nah.
No, those aren't good hats.
Nope.
No, not good at conference championship hats.
They're better than the draft caps, though.
The draft caps look terrible.
Yeah.
The draft caps are really bad.
The draft caps
But
are
here's the thing. Nobody buys NHL draft caps.
No.
No.
People buy NFL draft caps. Nobody buys NHL draft caps.
All right. Is it?
They're presenting the Prince of Wales
trophy.
Okay, I'm still behind here.
Where's,
is it just me or has Lundqvist got just a little bit of a Bradley Cooper and Silver Linings playbook look going on? Okay. All right. Yeah.
Do the Rangers have an actual captain right now?
No, they do. They do.
Did they? Well, no. Did they change captain? No, they have 3 alternates.
Oh, yeah.
Because remember, they traded Ryan Callahan.
Yeah, I was going to say it was Callahan. And
so they got Dan Girardi, Brad Richards, and Mark Stahl. If the Rangers win the Cup, who lifts it?
Well, that's an interesting question.
Somebody's got to do it.
I assume they'd have to name a captain, though.
No, they have 3 alternates.
Yeah, but that's a good point. If they win the Cup, who gets it?
But I'm saying, like, by that point, by the time that they would win the Cup, I'm assuming that the league would more or less force the, like, hey, no, guys, got to pick a captain.
They'll probably just say pick one.
They didn't touch it. They skated away.
They all did the team photo.
Yeah, nobody's going to go near that thing, man. I'm telling you.
I don't. It doesn't matter.
I know. I get it with the Cup. I understand that.
Well, but here. You want to know one reason why it doesn't matter? We'll use the Pittsburgh Penguins as an example. Back when they had the 2 straight years of playing Detroit in the final, the first year, Sidney Crosby didn't touch the Prince of Wales trophy. They lost to Detroit. The next year, he said, well, it didn't work last year, so I'm going to grab the stupid thing. And guess what? They won.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, we know it doesn't in real life. It makes absolutely no difference whatsoever.
Hockey gods.
I don't know that hockey might be every bit as superstitious as baseball.
Oh, it is. Especially for goal. I can tell you, especially for goalies.
Oh, yeah.
Hockey's pretty superstitious. It's just baseball. You have so much more downtime.
Right.
So
to think about it
happens.
As a hockey goalie, I remember just like I'd have a good game, and then like the next game I played, I'd try to recreate every single thing I did during the pregame warm up. Like, no, I can't do anything differently.
When I was a lacrosse goalie, I did the same thing. If I found something that worked for me, I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to have to do the same exact thing I just did.
Yep.
Listen to the same songs. Listen to them at the same time.
Do you know how many
do a thing? You know,
freaking Wendy's grilled chicken sandwiches I ate the last season I played baseball? God. Because
that was probably good for your baseball career too. Eating all the.
Yep. The New York Rangers, ladies and gentlemen.
Totally skipped over a very important piece of basketball news.
What?
Oh.
Los Angeles Clippers.
Oh, yeah. Yes, they do.
Steve Ballmer, ex-CEO of Microsoft, going to buy the Clippers.
Is he going to move them to Seattle or?
Probably not, but a absolutely ridiculous
$2 billion.
Yep.
For the Clippers.
Imagine what like the Lakers or the Celtics must be worth.
Sold, the Lakers got to be worth like the Dodgers were just bought last year for $2 billion.
Right.
You're going to tell me the LA Clippers are worth $2 billion? That's insane.
They're not even the real Los Angeles basketball team.
No, that is absolutely like Donald Sterling put out. He said, "I will sell it for $2.5 billion." And we're like, "You're an idiot. No one will pay that." Well, apparently, someone will pay that.
That's I look at that and I think, okay, I understand that when you're into that type of money, it's just monopoly money anyway, and no one cares about making the money back. But I think about how in the world could you possibly get the money back on an investment of that size?
Like as we talked about, the Clippers do have a sweet deal in the Staples Center. So like he
own part of Staples Center.
I mean, so the team's profitable. The team is profitable.
By this margin of purchase, that would mean that in North American sports, only the Yankees, Dodgers, and Cowboys are worth more than the L.A. Clippers.
Clippers living room, I'm sorry. Your team is like the Diet Coke of Los Angeles basketball.
Well, our Clipper fanatic lights out. Yeah! These are the reasons why he thinks why it's so high. It's a marketable team and players. Well, those things come and go,
right?
So that shouldn't be a factor.
And I'm still sure that the dumpster fire Lakers are still more marketable than the Clippers.
Exactly. Second biggest media market. I can buy that a little bit. Favorable lease at Staples Center. Sure.
Not $2 billion favorable.
Sure. A new TV deal that's coming up. Sure. But here's the problem with the marketable team and players and the TV deal. The Clippers are the Clippers. They're eventually going to go back to being the Clippers.
Yep.
So whoever, yes, their TV deal is coming up, and they might get a ridiculous amount of money for that TV deal. And if they do, then that'll be the TV network's fault. That'll be done by the TV network. Oh, and the Empire State Building is now red, white, and blue. Rangers.
Of course, absolutely.
But it's the Clippers. Sure, any NBA basketball team in Los Angeles could be worth a fair amount of money. I would if they were sold for $1 billion, like most people thought. Sure, I could believe that. But $2 billion?
I wonder if there was any kind of I don't know, like backroom deal cutting and stuff. The NBA just wanted to get this done quickly, so well, here's the price. Okay, I'll take it. And maybe it's like one of those this much up front, this much down the road, and it came out to $2 billion type things or something like that. Maybe.
I think Steve Ballmer is just the former CEO of Microsoft and has money to burn.
Right. I think that also might be part of I really want this. I really want to own a team, so I'm just going to outbid everybody and say $2 billion.
And also, right? I'm not going to partner with Chris Hansen because the league hates him.
Well, yeah. Well, because didn't he try to buy a team before Ballmer?
Ballmer and Hansen teamed up to try to buy the Kings and move them to Sacramento. Right. And then that went south when Steve Hansen kind of went behind everyone's back and then tried to sabotage the arena deal that would have kept the Kings in Sacramento. So the NBA's kind of not super happy with Chris Hansen at the moment.
Right.
So Steve Ballmer might have just said, yeah, you know what? Screw it. It's not like the Sonics, but I'll just buy the Clippers.
By the way, update from San Antonio. Spurs are up by 19. With a minute and a half left in the third.
Oklahoma, it was fun. I was actually pulling for you. And
well, hey, they could still win Game 6 and force a Game 7.
Which they would lose. Ladies and gentlemen, Zach's Tabs.
Yeah! Zach's Tabs!
So here's the thing. A lot of people have thrown some first pitches in their days.
Okay.
50 Cent, or a.k.a. Curtis Jackson, known rapper, leader of G-Unit. I'm sure you guys are both hip to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He threw out the first pitch at the New York Mets game the other day.
In a manner of speaking.
Well, because Mike hasn't seen it yet. There's a link to the actual pitch.
Oh.
Okay. What
he gets on the mound,
what?
The rubber, does a leg kick. His form looks fine until he just hucks it 20 feet to the left.
That looks like it's Photoshop. Like this looks like it's altered in some way.
Nope, that's real.
No, 50 Cent. It looks like he kind of didn't take as big of a step toward the plate, and then short-armed it, and the ball went not the direction of the plate.
I could watch this on just a loop.
Right, and so the good people at Deadspin also took the time to then, because of how terrible 50 Cent's pitch was, to see if it really is the worst first pitch of all time. They did a mapping of first pitches, famous first pitches, good and bad. So I'm going to show you a link to that.
I have seen this.
It's actually, some of it's kind of interesting. Because if you look you can look like towards the middle of the strike zone. George W. Bush, that famous perfect strike he threw.
Oh,
Series 2001.
Bush and Clinton both had pretty good.
Pretty good. Obama, a little high.
Yeah. I got to be honest. The president, he throws like a chick. Let's be honest about it.
But then, of course, to the wide left, just a bit outside, is 50 Cent.
Yeah,
Cookie Monster. Look at Cookie Monster.
Cookie Monster. Yeah, they break it up into government officials, celebrities, athletes, and fictional/extinct as the T-Rex that threw the first pitch down in San Diego earlier this year made the grid.
I just want to point out that Tara, the hero cat, had a better pitch than 50 Cent did.
Hey, the hero cat,
I didn't actually see the hero cat's first pitch. I know it was in Bakersfield.
It's not bad.
Minor League Baseball will do anything.
Oh, sure. That's what's beautiful about it.
For a non-human, that's not bad.
It's. I just want to point out, too, that two of the worst first pitches ever have both taken place at Mets games.
Baba Booey.
Baba Booey and 50 Cent.
Baba Booey.
Yeah, Baba Booey to the far right on this diagram.
Yes.
You know what? I'm still saying, I think
How
George...
is Nolan Ryan's pitch that far outside?
Well, that's the funny thing when I was reading about this is how many baseball players or athletes that are on here that had terrible first pitch.
Yeah.
You got
I'm just
Nolan
saying,
Ryan? Go ahead, Mike.
George Bush might have missed his true calling.
Well, his dad was a pretty fair ball player.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who else? There was a couple other athletes.
Well, let's see. There's Randy Johnson actually threw a pretty good run. Greg Maddux, of course, good. John Wall, way outside and low. Michael Jordan.
Wow, Michael Jordan's he's out there in the Baba Booey range, man.
Yeah,
Baba Booey.
and Jordan actually played baseball.
Well, there's a reason why that never went anywhere.
But hey, look at the guys in the strike zone. You got George Bush, George W., Bill Clinton, Sonia Sotomayor,
right?
Greg Maddux, Matthew McConaughey, Snoop Dogg,
Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah,
did he catch the zone?
Just a little high. Vern Troyer looked like
Troyer with some high inside heat.
Yeah, looked like he was in a little headhunting there.
Look, I'm saying is that I've seen some umps who would have given Stone Cold that,
definitely.
that strike.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then we've got...
I'm sorry, this wasn't done by the fine folks at Deadspin. It was just posted there. It was done by the Washington Post Wonk blog.
Okay, you know what, 50 Cent? Justin Bieber threw a better pitch than you.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Wow.
You got out-sported by Justin Bieber.
A freaking dinosaur threw a better pitch than you did, dude.
Barely.
And a cat. A cat totally blew you away. It looks like the cat threw one of those 58-foot change-ups, or the curve, where it bounced in the dirt, but...
Terra, the hero cat. God damn it, minor league baseball.
Minor league baseball is the greatest. I love it.
It really is.
I love it.
Let's see, moving on. This is another thing. This is by the Wall Street Journal. They compiled a list. They had the research department scour the internet for sports articles, trying to determine the most commonly misspelled names in sports.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And so they have a list here. Who do you think, in all of sports...
Henrik Lundqvist. That's a tricky
Who has the most incorrectly spelled name?
Okay, Henrik Lundqvist. No one can get that right.
Let's see
no,
now.
Not even on the list.
Are we talking about now? Because obviously there is a fame factor.
First and last names.
There's a fame factor that comes into this too, though, like a known athlete. So
this is a guy you definitely know. He is currently playing in the NBA playoffs.
Let's see here. LeBron James?
Nope. Same team.
No, it's Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade.
Yeah.
Because he spells Dwayne really weird.
Yeah, it's like DZ something or other. It's not
DWYANE.
Yeah.
And the most common misspelling of it is DWAYNE, which would make more sense because it's Dwayne, not Dwyan. But
who's next?
Who's next?
Let's see.
Recently retired goaltender.
Martin
Canadian team.
No.
Canadian team.
Okay, Canadian team. Okay.
Canadian team. Finish.
It's blanking. I know it.
Calgary.
Kiprusoff.
Mika Kiprusoff.
Most
people misspell Mika.
Was it
How would you spell Mika?
M-I-C-H-A or M-I-C-A-H?
I would say M-I-K-K-A. M-I-K-K-A.
That is the most common misspelling. It is actually a double I, double K.
M-I-I.
Oh.
Okay.
All right.
Yes. Number 2, a pitcher for your Toronto Blue Jays. Played a lot of years with White Sox.
Oh, crap. Okay.
Oh, Mark Burley.
Mark Burley.
I think I actually can get his. It's B-U-E-H-R-L-E. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, yeah.
Most people transpose the H and the R.
Right.
The next one, you're never going to get this. I'm going to give you some clues, but you're never going to get it.
Okay.
WNBA.
Okay, I give up. I don't even have the care
Played
factor.
for Notre Dame in college.
I don't even have a care factor to like.
God,
WNBA rosters.
I'm actually.
Skylar Diggins.
Okay, I didn't know.
Most people misspell Skylar. It's
you couldn't
AR.
even give us a Breaking Bad hint or something?
I could have, I guess. The next one you're never going to get either. I think it's a tennis player.
Oh.
It's some Eastern European tennis player.
Tennis isn't a sport, okay? Tennis is a country club activity that preppy people do to socialize with other preppy people.
Here we go. Agnieszka Radwanska?
Oh, yeah. If you can't even say it, there's no way you're going to be able to spell it. Let's be honest here.
The next one is some of these are kind of just weird. I don't know why they're on here, but let's see. I guess, does he play with the Clippers right now? He was a white guy at Duke, which obviously doesn't narrow it down. It's J.J. Redick.
Really?
It's
two Ds. One D.
One D, not two.
See, I would think it would have been two, and the people only put one in. It's the other way around. Okay.
Next one, Filipino boxer.
God.
Manny Pacquiao.
Quadruple Jesus.
Manny Pacquiao.
Okay, let me try that one. Pacquaio.
That's the common misspelling.
Oh, okay.
It's IAO.
Oh, all right.
Pacquiao.
Oh, I get you. Okay. I was close.
I can't even figure out a hint for this one. The next one's Antoine Jameson.
Yeah, it's like isn't it ANTAWN?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is Anton. Yeah.
Instead of Antoine.
Yeah, I don't know how they got the W in there.
The next one, I have no idea how anyone ever spelt this wrong, but they did. Let's just say Baltimore Orioles.
Current player?
Played shortstop for a long time.
Currently Cal Ripken.
People spelled Cal Ripken wrong.
How?
I-N instead of E-N.
Oh, for Pete's sake. The
Yeah.
only people that have never followed sports would do that.
I don't even know what team this guy plays on anymore, but Johnny Peralta.
I believe he is with St. Louis now, I think.
Yeah, but it's his first name because it's
J-H-O-N-N-Y. Yeah, I remember because when he played for the Indians, yeah. And the Tigers.
Monte Ellis.
M-O-N-T-A, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's spelled Monta.
Right.
Monte with an E. And this one again makes no sense. Alex Rodriguez.
What are people missing with that?
Let me see. What are people missing? Alex is correct. R-O-D-R-I. Some people spelled Alex Rodriguez with a Q.
Okay.
No.
Next one I also understand. Mark Teixeira.
Yeah.
There's an extra I in there.
Where?
T-E-I.
Okay, yeah.
X-E-I.
Right. Okay.
Brett Favre.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
I still don't know how you get Favre out of that.
You know. Torrey Hunter. Most people miss the second I.
Yep.
Stephen Curry instead of Stephon Curry. And this one, I have no... And somebody put some argument to this, and I understand why it's not higher on the list, but you would think it would be higher. Think of the hardest name to spell in college basketball.
Krzyzewski.
Uh-huh. But see, the reason why it's not higher, and I agree with this, most people know that it's spelled funky, so people look it up before they write it.
Yeah.
You would never try to just write out Krzyzewski.
No.
No.
Or you just refer to him as Coach K.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have to look it up. And can you spell Krzyzewski?
Not with a gun to my head.
No.
Not even close.
K-R-Z-Y-Z-E-W-S-K-I.
Again, how do you get Krzyzewski out of that?
Krzyzewski.
Right.
Krzyzewski.
I don't even know how you. I don't know how that's the thing. I don't know how you get Favre out of Favre, and I don't know how you get Krzyzewski out of a name that starts with a K.
Yeah, no.
And the reason they did this is because the National Spelling Bee was this week.
Ah, yes.
And they named a champion today.
Oh, did they?
Yes, but not just one champion. There was a tie.
How do you have a tie in a spelling bee?
They ran out of words.
Seriously?
They ran out of words.
Probably, I don't know. They ran out of hard words to spell. You get to like the 13th overtime. It's like, spell cat. What?
Spell Ripken.
Spell Brett Favre.
A tie in the spelling bee.
Yes.
Do you know how deep you'd have to go into the English language to come up with to run out of? Wow.
Swerum Hathwar.
Okay, there's another one.
And Ansum Sujo. Tie for the National Spelling Bee.
Well, there are two people that will be on next year's names that are commonly misspelled list.
Yes.
To bring it back around.
The article here also had a few other names that you probably won't be able to spell easily. Saltalamacchia.
Oh, no. Oh, I think I can do that one. Let me see. Saltamacia.
You missed the syllable. It's Saltalamacchia.
Oh, yeah.
Saltalamacchia.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see. Former Packers defensive end, KGB, Kabir Jababiamila.
Yeah.
And this one, neither are going to know because it's a player for the Greek soccer team. So
come on, Mike, you know this.
Socrates, Papastatholopoulos.
Yeah, no.
Uh-huh.
Indamakung Su.
Uh-huh.
I actually think I might take a shot at that one.
Can you do Indamakun?
Oh, no.
Country of origin? Can you use it as a sentence?
I know it starts with an ND.
Ndamukong.
Oh, okay. No, I wasn't even close.
Yep. But that's your list for the week.
Okay.
Let's see.
Did you guys see these cute little Windows things? I put the link in the chat here.
Yeah, I'm looking at them.
Does Windows still do that with the little paperclip guy that jumps up and talks?
No.
No.
Okay. So this is completely, not only probably not that funny, but completely outdated to go with it?
Yep.
Okay.
Like, no one under the age of, like...
No one knows what that is anymore.
Yeah, no one under the age of, 20 will get this.
Nobody, which is sad. I think I have one more. Oh.
Okay.
This one, I guess we could have left this in the hockey part, but you know the giant donut in Los Angeles?
Yes.
The famous donut?
Yep.
Well, it's been turned into a hockey puck.
How?
Has it?
Just for the playoffs?
Yeah, they just did it before Game 3. Randy's donut now has a hockey puck on top of it.
All right, let's see this. That looks like a tire cover. It doesn't look like a puck.
I know. But I will say, despite being kitschy and bringing you in with a giant donut on top, Randy's good donuts.
I was going to ask you if you'd been there and if it was good or not.
Yeah,
Cool.
Good donuts.
Cool.
It's not something I would do. It's something if I'm ever driving up to LA, have to drive on the 405 and you see Randy's Donuts and you're like, hey.
Have you been to, what's the famous hot dog place out there?
Oh, Pink's?
Pink's. Have you been there?
Yeah, I stood in the hour-and-a-half line to get a decent hot dog.
An hour and a half?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's just decent.
And it's just
It's decent. Okay, maybe it was probably more like a half hour.
Okay.
And because they get you through quicker than you would think.
Yeah.
Like you see it and the line goes around the small little building that it is. You're like, it's famous, but do I want to stand in that long of a line for a hot dog?
Well, yeah, and especially if you come away from it and you're not going, man, that was the greatest hot dog ever. Or is it just a thing where people go there because they can say they've been to Pink's?
It's now become its own self-fulfilling prophecy sort of thing.
Okay.
Where you go because it's a tourist thing.
Right.
But you can get a ridiculous amount of toppings on your hot dog. So you can order any of the pre-made or pre-suggested combinations named after celebrities or athletes or different sort of things. Or you can just get your own custom dog and get whatever the hell you want on it.
Do they have a secret menu like In-N-Out does? Is it In-N-Out that has the secret menu?
In-N-Out has a secret menu. And I've just come to learn of a new secret menu item.
Oh.
It's come across my desk here in the last week. I've told you guys about Animal Style, right?
No.
Animal Style.
Oh, yeah, you did. Refresh my memory.
Animal Style, it's the patties are grilled in mustard grilled patties. And they have a spread on top of them, which is Thousand Island dressing and mustard. And
that sounds unpleasant.
Onions.
I don't know. It's intriguing.
It's not my favorite thing. I'm not an Animal Style type of person. But you can get that on the burger. You can get Animal Style fries. But now, apparently, I haven't ordered this myself. I have not seen anyone ordered. I've just seen it as conjecture on Facebook. but there may be something called monkey style.
Oh, this could get interesting.
Very.
Which is an animal style burger topped with animal style fries.
Okay.
All on the burger.
So let me ask a question here about the In-N-Out thing and their famous secret menu.
Yeah, you can get the Flying Dutchman, which is a burger with no patties or no bread. You can get a grilled cheese if you really want one.
How did people find out about the secret menu?
It's just something that sort of developed over time.
Okay, that was my question, because if it was secret,
it's not something they officially made until they officially made it so that they could train the people on how to do it. But in the beginning, it just was sort of like, hey, these were things that customers ordered, but they wanted to stick to the traditional burger aesthetic, where they're a traditional burger joint. There's, you go to McDonald's or someplace and you can order like a number 19 or whatever the hell.
Right.
At In-N-Out, there's a 1, 2, and 3, which is a double, a single cheeseburger, or just a hamburger.
How is their food? Just out of curiosity.
It's great.
Is it?
It's great. It's so good.
One of the things that
my mouth is watering thinking about a double.
I love junk food, and it's just a shame that there are some places out your way that I can't get to.
If you ever make your way to the West Coast, anywhere between Seattle and Dallas, you can try and find yourself an In-N-Out.
Cool.
It's good.
Well, I've heard good things, but at the same time, like, I don't want to be disappointed.
Yeah, I would send one to you in the mail to return as a favor for the chocolate Stanley Cup. But I have a feeling that a In-N-Out burger would not hold up as well in postage.
No, probably not. Probably
than a prepackaged chocolate treat.
On the Howard Stern show, they took a McDonald's cheeseburger and they left it sitting on a shelf for a year. Okay.
Oh, God.
And honest to God, I mean, obviously you couldn't eat it anymore, but just to look at it, it didn't look that much different from the first day they put it up there.
Yeah.
Which really makes me worry about what kind of stuff is going into their food.
Do they have this thing in the States they have up here where you can ask McDonald's questions on their website about their, pseudo food?
Oh, I'm sure they do.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been pushing this marketing thing in Canada right now where they're like, there have been some rumors about our food. And like, okay.
Who's doing that right now? Subway. That's their marketing pitch. Because remember,
I always thought that
Subway had the issue with like rubber in their bread.
Yeah, right. I remember hearing about that.
But now they're like, hey, we took out all these extra things out of our bread, and they're made whole daily. And it puts all these weird things on the screen, like no subchlorohydrate phosphates.
That was in there before?
I guess.
I gotta say, I'm relieved to know that there's no longer rubber in Subway's bread. That's great.
I never knew the difference.
Right.
I thought it was bread, and somebody's like, "Oh, there's shoe rubber in the bread."
I will tell you this though,
right,
from personal experience, the Subway diet does work. I lost about 40 pounds on the Subway diet a few years ago.
You should have called them, got some of that Jared money.
Yeah, it was too late. He'd already beat me to it, and he lost a lot more weight than I did.
But you
did you have the 2 sets of pants to prove it?
But you see, you're a biker, so you could have cashed in on that Sons of Anarchy crowd.
Right? Yeah, because Sons of Anarchy is so realistic. Yeah,
I just assume
fat
it
bikers.
is.
Yeah. There's fat bikers.
Oh sure,
Probably
like, hey, more fat bikers than not, to be honest.
You could be a fat biker, or you could be a skinny biker.
Well, the funny thing is, now that I've got a Harley Davidson, I've gotten into buying a couple T-shirts here and there. And normally, I have trouble finding things in my size because I'm 6'3", so I wear a double extra large, and usually everything's too small. At the Harley place, it's amazing. You can get up to like a 6X in T-shirts, and it's common. It's not like, okay, this store has them, but this one doesn't. Everywhere.
That makes sense because
a lot of fat bikers out there.
I like how Greg has become like the Harley guy that he used to despise.
Yeah, I know. I'm a complete total sellout.
By the way, update San Antonio. The Spurs with 2 minutes and 44 seconds remaining. Spurs are up 22 points.
No.
Or sorry. Wait, hold on. Whoa. Did I read that wrong?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me do the math. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Oh my God, the Spurs are up 32 points.
Oh God. It's like that first game. It was like a blowout.
115 to 83.
Oh my God. See, that's another thing about the NBA playoffs. Not only is it the same cast of characters all the time, but rarely are the games any good. It's just blowouts, trading blowouts back and forth, depending on who's home.
Hopefully when we get the inevitable Spurs Heat, hopefully it's like last year's finals. Because last year's finals was actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
Going 7 games, every game pretty tight. So hopefully it's like that, and hopefully it's not just terrible. Like this game.
This is just
115 to 83.
Yeah. Thanks for showing up, Oklahoma City. Good job.
To close out the show, do you want to do Greg guesses the MLB standings?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I'm going to do better this time. Well, I actually did pretty well last time, but go ahead. All right.
American League or National League? Where do you want to go?
Let's do American League first.
American League. We'll start in the East.
Toronto.
Woohoo!
Toronto!
I have to say that I kind of cheated on that. I had heard that they were in first, and then Mike told me they were in first. So
Toronto, 2.5 games up on the New York Yankees.
Surprisingly, the Yankees still hanging tough, despite the fact that they're older than the Spurs.
How many games are the Boston Red Sox out of first place?
4.5.
7.
Okay.
How many games are Tampa Bay?
8.5.
Tampa Bay is just, I don't know what the deal is.
Didn't we all pick them to win?
We sure did.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we a couple of us had them going to the World Series, if I remember right. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I might have had them winning.
And Kansas City beats Toronto. The winning streak is over.
That's okay. 9 out of 10 still not bad.
Speaking of Kansas City, let's go over to the Central.
That would be your Detroit Tigers.
Detroit Tigers.
Yeah.
4.5 up on the Chi Sox.
Yeah, the White Sox surprisingly decent this year.
Yep. In the Western Division,
probably still Oakland, right?
Oakland up 2.5 on the Halos.
And if the Halos could just get a
Come on, Angels! I picked you guys.
Now, who is the wild cards?
Oh, that's going to be a little tougher. Let's see.
Toronto!
Probably the Angels have got to be one of them.
Angels are the first wild card, and they are a game up on
the Yankees.
The New York baseball Yankees.
Wow, because the Yankees only, like 3 games over 500 right now, aren't they?
4 games.
4 games. Okay. All right, let's go to the National League.
The Angels are actually 6 games over 500. In the National League, in the East, we have a tie. Who are the 2 teams that tied top the East?
The Miami Marlins.
Yes, indeed.
How the hell did that happen?
And the Atlanta Braves.
Atlanta Braves.
I
2.5 up on the Washington Nationals.
Full disclosure, I've started watching more baseball and paying attention more to it in the past couple of weeks. So I'm going to be a little bit better, but still not up to speed yet.
Central.
The Brewers, surprisingly.
Brewers still up 2.5 for the Cards.
Don't they have the best record in baseball right now?
The Brewers?
Yeah.
Let's see, they got a 593. No, they do not.
Okay.
They are second to the leader over in
the West. The team that I believe all 3 of us picked, or did one of us pick the
Actually,
Dodgers?
they're third to
I picked the Dodgers.
Okay, Zach and I picked the Giants to have a comeback year, and they are having it. They're doing very well.
642 winning percentage.
Yes.
34-19. 5.5 games up on the Los Angeles Dyers.
As a matter of fact, I had the Giants-Cardinals game on the television before we started the show tonight. Yeah. It was 1-1 when I came in here to do the show.
And wild card, we already mentioned one of them because they're tied. Or no, actually, never mind. The Braves or Marlins are not in the wild card. They're half a game out, both of them.
Let's see.
Wild card leaders.
Dodgers?
Toronto! Dodgers are the second wild card. They are a half game behind.
Let me think. That had to be in the Central, then I would guess. Let's see. Would it be
the Cardinals?
Best fans in baseball.
Is it the Cardinals?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you see that schmuck with the Derek Jeter?
Classy enough to be a Cardinal.
Geez, now you know what? I'm not as down on Cardinals fans as you guys are, but that disgusted me. I was like, come on, man.
You know what?
This is why people hate you guys. Don't you get it?
Fuck you, St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah, I even have to go along with that one. That was just ridiculous.
Let me pull it up. But the MLB released its first All-Star update.
Oh, God.
For the votes. 3 Rockies that are leading positions in the All-Star vote.
Okay,
which makes no sense because the Rockies are, they're a game out of the wild card, I guess, but they're still not playing.
Their fans are stuffing the ballot boxes. Let me see.
Here we go. Here's the current NL leaders. They're here on the sides of the page.
All right, so Troy Tulowitzki is one of the Rockies, right?
Troy Tulowitzki.
Cargo is the other one.
No, he's not.
No?
No.
Who the hell?
The other two Rockies are Arenado and Blackman.
Wow.
The other leaders in the National League, Adrian Gonzalez, Chase Utley, Yadier Molina, Andrew McCutchen, and Ryan Braun.
Ryan Braun. We got the American League?
Leaders in the AL, Miguel Cabrera.
No surprise there.
Ian Kinsler.
A little bit of a surprise there.
He's having a great year.
Yeah, he is. He really is.
He's really sticking it to the Rangers.
Yeah.
Because Prince Fielder, guess what? He's injured.
Yeah.
Out for the season.
Oh, is he out for the season?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Derek Jeter, number 2.
No surprise there.
Josh Donaldson.
Really?
Yeah.
From the A's?
From the Oakland Athletics.
See, I wouldn't think they would have enough attendance to get one of their guys in the... I'm serious.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
Matt Wieters.
Okay, that's not too surprising.
David Ortiz.
Of course.
Jacoby Ellsbury.
Of course.
Mike at the Toronto Blue Jay.
Toronto! Encarnacion.
Jose Bautista.
He's
Yeah.
And of
yesterday's
course,
home run machine.
and of course, the best player in baseball,
Mike Trout.
Yeah, he's having a down month, but
Is he classy enough to be a Cardinal?
he's classy enough to be a Laker.
Classy enough to be a Cardinal. Give me a fucking break.
New logo.
All right, and with that, we're going to wrap it up for this week. Any final thoughts, guys?
Go Rangers.
Yeah, go Rangers. There you go.
Go Rangers in the Cup final.
And go Blackhawks.
Go Blackhawks.
Please.
Go
For the love
Blackhawks.
of God, please.
Right, for at least the next 2 games. But no matter what, go Rangers.
Go Rangers. There you go. All right. At Basically Sports is the Twitter handle. Email us, basicallyasportshow@gmail.com. And you can go to the website, basicallyasportshow.com. You can listen to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, YouTube, and on the website. I think that does it.
Hit us up. Basically, a Geek Show is now on Twitter. So
Oh, are you?
at Basically a Geek Show.
Excellent. Cool.
Mike has joined the Twitter fray.
No, that's Jack. I still don't know how Twitter works.
All right. We will see you all next time.
Later, guys.
See ya.
Please hang up and try again.